everyone. I'm Colleen.
And Cindy here.
Thanks for joining us for episode 7 of Earth's History Explained by a Light Being. Yeah, I didn't even realize when we started doing this series that there were going to be this many episodes, but I'm so excited to be here for episode 7. And we've had a bunch of new viewers join us in the last 2 weeks, actually, since the last 2 episodes. Thanks for the shout out on your channel, Cindy. So Cindy mentioned this channel on her other channel, Lady of the Forest 444, where she brings angel messages. And a whole bunch of her viewers, it seems, came over to check out our videos and what's this whole Pele thing and stuff like that. So I'm just going to take a second to, first of all, to say hi and welcome. And thanks for joining us, and to explain a little bit about what this channel and this series is all about. So I'm not saying you have to watch the whole series. You can totally just watch this video. But the light being who once incarnated as Pele, so she's had a bunch of incarnations, but her most famous one sort of was as Pele, so we call her Pele. She has been joining us as our recurring guest on this series, and she's been bringing messages, teaching us about Earth's history, and then also really exciting messages about what's coming in Earth's future as well. So it started, like, if you want the whole story, you can go back in our video list to EH1. That was the beginning of this Earth's History series. And that's the one where Pele's our recurring guest. And so as you watch the videos, there's this whole story unfolding. And I love how Pele, she brings up something in one video and then she revisits it in a subsequent video and layers on more information, and there's this whole story unfolding. So if you watch this and you're interested and you have questions, if you go back, Pele even, I think, reads the comments because people ask questions and sometimes they get answered in a future video, So you can do that if you're interested in watching the whole series. And then if you'd like to know a little bit more about us and about how the guided way that this channel got started, in our very first video, CFB1, in just the first couple minutes, we explain the guidance we received to start this channel and a little bit about ourselves. And then in CFB6, we answered some viewer questions about our own spiritual journey and some books that we've read and other resources, and just got a little bit more into, our own history. So I've been talking long enough. I am really super excited to see what we're going to learn today, and I'll pass things over to you, Cindy.
Okay, thanks. And for those of you that don't know, CFB stands for Conversations from Beyond, and that was the first series that we started here until they switched us over into the Earth's History series, and we will be returning to Conversations from Beyond after this.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm so excited to see more people here too, and in honor of Pele today, I wore my
I love it.
campfire t-shirt, and I have my page. So I just did a video on my Lady of the Forest channel where I explained who Pele was, because in the last angel message that came through for that channel, they had mentioned Pele, and I didn't realize that that was the first mention of Pele on that channel. So I didn't say anything about her. And then people in the comments were like, who's Pele? Is the soccer player? Is that who you're talking about? So I showed my beautiful painting that I had commissioned of Pele, because in 2017, I actually did readings for a year with Pele as my guide. She was the one who stepped forward and did those readings. And so I had this commission so that people would know, because a lot of people don't know who Pele is, the goddess of fire and volcanoes in Hawaii, and she's just awesome. So I had this painting commissioned, and I'm going to have to find, she's in my bedroom right now, is where she normally is, but I think I'm going to have to put her in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, put her up behind you in honor.
Yeah.
But that's just one of her incarnations, right?
Yes. Yes. And that's how she introduced herself to me. So when she first stepped forward back in 2016, she called herself Pele. And so that's how I know her. But yes, she's been on Earth many, many times and had many, many different incarnations. But that's just how she refers to herself for me. So when Pele is returning, it's not Pele returning. It's her soul, and she will be a new person, just like she is in every incarnation that she is here on Earth. So yeah, just really excited about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my little process here of lighting my candle, calling in my angels. And this is the time where I ask you to use your own discernment with these messages as they come in. Take what you like, leave the rest.
Yeah, and Cindy, do you want to explain your angels come in, but then the step aside?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that when the pendulum is still. Just hang on a second. Oh, there. We had a lot of fire there. I don't know if you saw that flame or that. I don't know if that was on camera, but that was a big flame. Yeah, so usually, so my angels are always here. It's like a direct connection using my pendulum and my mat. And but they step aside to allow in beings of light. So I'm always protected that way. And Pele and I are old friends, so I totally know her energy and I love it.
She's awesome.
She is. She's just so okay. I'm ready.
You're going to see me typing a little bit. If I just typed some notes for Cindy and I. If you want a transcript of this, there's in YouTube below I think it's below the description. You can click get transcript and you can see a written version if it's, you want it for accessibility issues or for clarity, it's there.
And you can get closed captions too up above here. If you click on the thing, you can have the option of turning those on if you need them. Okay.
Here we go.
Right, I'll put my glasses on. So the pendulum is still, so this tells me that my angels have stepped aside and someone else is here. This is Pele. Today is going to be fun. We are going to explore something that will bring you lots of joy. We are going to explore what you will experience when you have your great awakening. Ooh. This is something that many people are wondering about. This is something that is very exciting, even for us on this side of awareness. You will experience a beautiful feeling of euphoria. And this feeling will have been with you since I was conceived on earth. So this feeling will be familiar to you. However, at the moment of your great awakening, you will notice a huge exponential increase in this feeling. This will be so noticeable that it will stop you in your tracks. You will stop and pay attention to your body at that moment. This will be a moment in your life that will become a most treasured moment. In this moment, as you are stopped in your tracks, paying attention to your body and this feeling of euphoria increasing within your body, you will then look around and discover that you are in a whole new place. You will look around and discover that your environment has changed. We have a room set up for the awakening on this side of awareness. This room is so much more than a room. I may also refer to it as a magical place. So you will find yourself in this magical place, and you will need a moment to orient yourself there. This will only take a moment. You will look around and see other beings there as well. Some will appear as light beings, and others will appear as people. The people are other people who are experiencing their great awakening with you. Now, during the mass awakening, this will be a lot of people. However, after the mass awakening, others will awaken on their own time. But there will always be other people there in this magical place when you awaken. So you will look around and see light beings and see people, and you will feel an overwhelming sense of love and euphoria. This is the feeling of home. This is the feeling of your love energy imprint. You are home. You are home, incarnated on earth. You will understand this more once you embody your true self and you become a true representation of home on earth. Now you are a representation of home on earth. However, you are not yet a full representation of home on earth. So you look around and see others and feel this incredible love and euphoria. You will then begin to understand your surroundings. And as you understand your surroundings, they will expand. As your surroundings expand, you will understand that expansion. And so your surroundings will then expand further. And this will repeat until you eventually have an understanding of all that is. Okay, I just have to stop there because I need to talk about this before. Go on.
Right?
Like, that's so amazing. That is so beautiful that we're going to sort of arrive into this smaller space. And as we look around, we go, oh, yeah, okay, I recognize this. I know what this is. Oh, okay. And then a little bit more is shown. Oh, yeah, okay. And then a little bit more. Like, that's so
Right?
perfect.
I just typed in the notes, like so I typed notes to myself too with little asterisks of things I want to say to you later. And I just typed, so they're gonna ease us in.
Yeah.
Like you get it? Like, so we're gonna, because can you imagine if we're sitting here doing this and next thing you know, we're looking at all that is?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we would just so I love that. Yeah. So you're gonna look around. Okay. I'm glad you stopped because you know how it's happened in a few episodes that I have some thought related. I mean, you too, but anyway, or we have a conversation, and that happens in our conversations at home all the time when it's just Cindy and I getting together. And we think of something before they bring it in a message. Like last week, all of a sudden I wanted to bring my crystals in, right? Which I don't anyway. And then it was about crystals. Last night on my magic balcony, all of a sudden I started thinking about my great awakening. And I was thinking about, because I'm very excited about the reunion with my past loved ones that have crossed. And I had this big, long, drawn out, like sort of scenario played out where, like the different people, like my mom, I'm like, Mom, and my brother, and my sister-in-law, and like, and the feeling of love. Anyway, I just had this anticipation of what it might be like.
Yes.
Because in a previous video, she talked about like when you do get over there, whatever it is, when you do become aware of the other side of awareness, sit with it for a little bit, like, because you're going to have to just chill with it and just get used to it. Like that was before we start coming back over here and helping others. But nonetheless, I was picturing myself sitting with getting used to, I just happened to think that last night, and then here we are talking about it. So, this is such a cool message. Because,
I can't wait to hear the rest. And I love the double meaning of you are home. Like that when we're standing there, we are home, but then also we are home.
Yes.
So cool.
That's just like you talked about, we are God in your other video on your other channel, but we talked about that here too. Like we're just part of it all and representatives of it, but we are it, and so cool.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But
I got perma smile while I'm listening to this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Is she ready to continue?
Yep. Continue on. Okay, this is Pele. Yes, this is a perfect plan and a beautiful unfolding. You will see how absolutely perfect this plan is when you experience it. Talking about it is one thing. Experiencing it is something other light beings in the universe are experiencing with you because they are not able to experience it on their own. This great awakening is a huge deal for all that is. So this expanding of your awareness on this side of awareness will happen fairly quickly, although there is no time. However, I talk about things in relation to time because you understand time. So this expanding will happen fairly quickly, and you will adjust easily. There are many different ways that a person will experience their expanding awareness. Some people will meet with their loved ones immediately. Others will do that later. Some people will visit their homes immediately, and others will do that later. Some people may have a new and exciting moment with another person in the Great Awakening Hall. These people may mingle and catch up as they remember their past lives together. And they will spend their first moments on this side of awareness, reconnecting with other people in the Great Hall of Awakenings. Yes, this is a magical place we created for this purpose, and it is called the Great Hall of Awakenings. So there are many different ways to experience your Great Awakening. And this is as it should be. Every soul is unique. Every person is unique. So, of course, every awakening is unique, including the awakening you experience in the Great Hall of Awakenings. now I'm going to explain something in further detail. This great hall of awakenings, this great hall of awakenings is a magical place that was built for this purpose of greeting people in their great awakening moment from Earth. This hall is brand new, and it has been built with the utmost care and honor. This hall is a most sacred place in all that is. This hall has one purpose: to greet people from Earth when they have their great awakening moment. This will be a very sacred and very love-filled place. After the Great Awakening, this hall will remain as it is, and it will become a historical place within all that is. This hall will be visited by many light beings in the future. And this hall will be honored and revered for all time. There will be many ceremonies that will take place in this hall, because it will contain a love energy imprint of all the great awakenings of every person on Earth. The love energy imprint of this hall is like no other place in all that is. This is a most sacred place in all that is. Okay, she's stopping for a second, so I think. So, wow. And the way she describes it, like, it really does sound amazing. If, like, just that idea of creating one place where
Oh, I
everybody,
know.
yeah, I know,
I
eh? The
know.
Hall of Great Awakening.
I know they built a place for it. I just love it. I had this picture of them having conversations as we move toward the success of the experiment. You know what I mean? As they could see that we were coming towards success, and they're like, "We got to build a hall." And then this whole committee starts to build a hall.
Well, my mind went more to the future, like after this happens, that light beings who are born, because they said at one point that souls are still being born, right? That souls who are born after this are going to visit the hall, and like like not shadows, but because shadows sort of have a darkness implication, but like the the love energy imprint of everything that happened there will still be there. And like I just picture them going there and being able to sort of witness it all happening, because it's all happening now too, you know? Yeah, just that
Like a
it'll be
museum or
yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah, like this beautiful museum that they go to and they stand there and go, wow, this is amazing. Oh, look at those. Oh, look at their reunion. Oh, look at that, you know, and because they can see it
Well,
all
because there's no
happening.
time.
Yeah,
So it's a moving museum, like you're
yeah,
watching the scenes. Oh my goodness, I love that.
yeah.
I got it. So you had your camera down, but you guys saw me for 1 second going. What I was doing was turning on my fan. It happened again, Cindy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, so like I'll explain because a bunch of people are going to comment like it was a hot flash. It wasn't a hot flash. I'm past those now. When you were typing, I made a note because it was when you were saying um about the hall.
Yeah,
What you were talking about the hall, the heat came up, not a rush, not the tingles of
yeah.
truth. Oh my goodness. And I can't remember. I remember what we were talking about the last time that happened in a video, but I can't remember what she said about why I got so hot. But I think it must have just been truth coming through me. It was different than tingles of truth. I tell you guys this stuff in case you experience it while you're
Yeah.
watching the video, right?
Well, and I think it's also related to love energy, flowing love energy, because like they said, when we're clearing karma, we get cold. And I think that love energy is sort of
Oh.
brings in heat, because also when you do Reiki, your hands get hot. It's very hot.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. It was unbearable. Again, the sweater almost came off, but then I decided to just, I have a little fan here beside my desk because again, I'm 58. But I'm sorry if you can hear it. I was so hot. So also, I wondered if I also typed here, talk about Great Awakening, Mass Awakening, because she said
Okay.
sometimes like when she's talking, you know how I'm very literal and I cannot nitpick, but you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really pick out the terms. Anyway, she just said after the Great Awakening, this hall will remain as it is and it will become a historical place. And
Yeah.
that alludes to my previous understanding, which was not correct about what the Great Awakening. Can you explain about the Great Awakening versus the term mass awakening
So yeah, so my understanding of
from
the
your
way
angels, right?
they talk about this is that we're all having an individual great awakening. That's what they call. So we've all been like, people will say, "Oh, I had my awakening 6 years ago," or whatever. We're all in this awakening process, and we have moments of big awakening moments within that, and they call those awakening moments. But then we will have our great awakening, which is this, when we get access to the other side, when we now have access to that and we retain that conscious memory of it and we become who we truly are. Because then when we come back to Earth and no time is lost, we remember that whole experience and all of this great awakening moment for us. And the mass awakening is this first wave that's happening with Pele's birth, because there's a whole group of people that have been working really hard and they're sort of at the forefront of this. And most, if not all of those people are like high level souls or high experience souls. And some of them have been actually recruited here for this purpose of being one of the first, because of their experiences as a soul and their power as a soul, they were able to get through the muck of the karma and clear it all ahead of other people. And now that first wave will be turning around and helping other people, other souls to clear their karma and get through this. So this first wave will be awakening with Pele's birth, all at the same time. Over a couple of days, they said it'll unfold,
Mm.
because everybody's sort of, if you're sleeping or whatever, different time zones and all that, like, and just our own preference. We don't want to have it at a certain time. I don't know exactly, but they've said that we each have our own timeline, but it'll unfold over a couple of days. And we're all going to this great hall of awakenings. So the mass awakening is that first wave, waking up all at once. But this awakening from from Earth's reality to all of a sudden being aware of all that is and retaining that is our great awakening.
Yes. So great awakening, individual, mass awakening, bunch of individual great awakenings happening at the same time to a bunch of over a couple of days. Because you're right. Like, I don't want to be, I do Zoom presentations for work. And I would prefer not to have, I would prefer, please, not to have my great awakening while I'm in the middle of a Zoom presentation with a bunch of
exactly because like she said, you're gonna have this moment of where that's gonna, what did she say? It's gonna draw your attention,
like euphoria and like all this, you know what I mean? I could just,
it's gonna stop you in your tracks. That's
that's it. So imagine I'm at work.
So yeah, you don't want to have that in the middle of your Zoom, because even though you will go over there, have this whole experience and come back and not lose any time, you're still gonna have a moment of
exactly.
You know?
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, and also something to clarify too that you just said. So Pele and Cindy, I apologize in advance for being. I am nitpicky about language, but it's because, well, that's actually part of my job too.
Yeah,
is to edit a website. And I have this eagle eye, and I pick out, and so apologies, Pele, for editing. It's not that. It's that I can hear from the lens of perhaps some of our viewers. You get it? And so it's like, okay, now some questions are going to come in about higher level souls. So I want to clarify that that's not royalty. It's not anybody's better than anybody. No. It's older souls, right? Who have been
That's
through.
why I changed it to
I know,
more experienced.
I just felt strongly to just go a little harder about that. Like, so, because there's the 144,000 too, right? Like that comes from, that's another one of our EH videos. It's right in the title screen. Like that are, I believe, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, the first souls that incarnated
to Earth,
populated Earth, right? Yeah. And so they are older souls who have more experience. Like that's what they mean by higher level souls. There's no, you know what I mean? Hierarchy, nobody's in charge here.
Well, and they do describe them to me as high level souls. That's how they describe them to me.
I know.
But on that side of awareness, we put this above each other thing, and it's becomes all egoized and all that, right?
That's right.
We don't have that over there.
Well, so and we have that in our society.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about people that are born into royalty or how people who are leaders in politics and that are considered better, not like any of that stuff.
Yeah. And all the souls are learning and growing. Whatever level they're on, they're all learning and growing.
But the older, more experienced souls become leaders in this awakening process. Like, so after the mass awakening, then you're, eventually coming back and helping other, perhaps newer souls, or just people who have had a longer journey to awakening, but anyway.
Well, because some of them took on karma that turned out to be just too much.
Yes. Also in one of the other EH, like Pele has taught us so much. And some of the things that she's taught me, I've always been very compassionate individual, but have given me even more compassion, right? Like for everybody's journey and all that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Yes.
We're on for more. This is Pele. And I will clarify the higher level soul idea. There are souls still being born today. This is an ongoing process. And so it is, of course, understandable that an older soul will be at a higher level of development than a new soul. These new souls are at the beginning of their journey. and old souls have been around and experienced a lot of growth and learning. There is no judgment on this side of awareness about the level of a soul. It just is. All souls were new souls once, and all souls will be old souls. There is no judgment, and there is also no societal hierarchy around that. Yes, more experienced souls become teachers and masters, and they are held with reverence. However, new souls are also held in reverence, and they have a new and fresh perspective on life on this side of awareness. Every new soul has their own perspective, and every perspective is honored and revered. Now back to the Great Awakening. So, you will become acclimated to this side of awareness fairly quickly. And then you may begin to plan how you are going to help others. At this moment, you are not planning in karma. These plans are different. These plans are desires of service and desires of the heart. They are not desires of growth. Karma involves desires of growth. After the Great Awakening, you are no longer living in karma. There will be a lot of karma around you in the world. However, you will not be living in karma yourself. You will see the karma around you for what it is, and you will have compassion, and you will be able to share your love energy imprint with others to help them through their karma faster than if they didn't have help. So you will make plans to help others, and you may even make plans with other people in the Great Awakening moment to collaborate and help people together. These are plans of the heart. You may also begin to bring energy to a manifestation you wish to create on earth. These manifestations may be anything. You are encouraged to practice these manifestations in your own life and with your loved ones to help bring comfort and joy to your life. These manifestations may be anything. You will understand more about that in this Great Awakening moment. You may wish to remain in this space for a long time, comparatively to others who may wish to return to Earth before you and get started on their new Earth experience. The Earth experience will change for you after this Great Awakening experience. I will talk about this next time. So, the number of people in the Great Hall of Awakenings will change after everyone has acclimated to this experience. Some will return while others remain. Those that remain will be able to experience something else. This is not in exclusion of those that chose to return to Earth earlier. This is a group of souls who are working together on a project. This project is an open project, and souls may join in on this project at any time. This project is the creation of Lemuria. The creation of Lemuria will be an ongoing project in the Great Hall of Awakenings. The creation of Lemuria is actually a recreation of Lemuria. Lemuria exists now, and it is a special place. However, Lemuria needs to exist on the place with the highest level of love energy in the universe. So that is where Lemuria is now. Many people think that Lemuria was on Earth before. However, this is not entirely true. Lemuria was on an Earth that is part of all that is. So Earth is your planet, and you live there. You are a soul, and you live on Earth. However, your soul is here on this side of awareness. You understand that. Well, the same thing is in play for the Earth herself. Earth is your planet, and she exists in the Earth energy, in the Earth's universe. However, Earth also exists on this side of awareness. This Earth is a high level place. This is the highest potential love energy imprint of Earth that you live on. The highest love energy potential of Earth is here on this side of awareness. That is where your Lemuria was. People who have been receiving information about Lemuria on Earth and then disappearing were tapping into this highest potential of Earth that exists on this side of awareness. And they were tapping into this future existence of Lemuria on Earth. Okay, she wants us to take a break. Oh my goodness.
We're going to title this episode Covering All of Colleen's Passions. Because Lemuria is also one of my topics of interest.
But wow. Okay, so I got really nervous when they started saying that Lemuria wasn't on Earth because I know this was gonna, rub up against a lot of
Yeah,
beliefs out
yeah.
there. So I was like, oh, what are you saying, Pele? What are you saying? But then when she explained, it just somehow just makes sense.
Yes, like there's another Earth, like,
Yeah,
okay, not another Earth. It reminds me
exactly.
of me and my higher self. So the
Exactly.
Earth has a higher self,
I didn't know that. Why did
right?
I never think of that?
Right? Like she's talked about how Earth's going through its own awakening and Earth is an entity of its own and Earth has its own energy and all that, but I never thought about it having a higher
Yeah.
self. And that's where, okay.
So this must be because the people that talk about the two Earths and we're going to this other Earth and all this, like I never really connected with those kinds of messages. But now this is kind of explaining it from a different perspective where it's like, okay, I can go there and now I can see why people get those kinds of messages because
It
it
did.
is this higher self of Earth. So then, because I always and they have explained that there are many energies that go into Earth herself, but maybe they somehow make up one. I don't know. But then my thought went to, well, everything is made of energy. Like, the crystals on Earth, like they have souls. I've had a past life as a crystal on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember this past life. So it's like, so does everything, is there like a higher version of my chair? Does my chair have a higher self?
That's hilarious.
I don't
I
know.
get it. I know.
But
And
you
we're
know
not
what I
all will
mean?
be revealed, right? When we're aware of
Yeah.
the other side of awareness. But I get it. And there are people, it hasn't been a focus of mine about, is it pronounced Gaia? And, like the whole Earth being an entity thing. I mean, I think there's going to be people in the comments going like, well, yeah, of course it has a high, like, because Earth has
I just
like
never
not
thought
a
of it like that.
soul, like we were talking about anyway, some kind of a soul. Wow, so cool.
Yeah, I
And then,
just never
yeah,
thought of it like that there's like a whole Earth higher self kind of thing.
yeah. So she said right near the end, she said, people who have been receiving information about Lemuria on Earth, and the way she worded it, and then disappearing. It's not the people that were disappearing. They have
Yes.
information about Lemuria having been on Earth and
Yes.
then disappearing. They were tapping into the higher Earth.
Yes.
And that exists on this side of awareness, and they're tapping into the future existence of Lemuria on our Earth. So it's just like, there's Earth's universe and then the universe. So there's Earth and there's Earth in the greater universe, like the all that is the universe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know what I mean.
That's like my mind is blown right now.
No kidding.
Wow.
I don't know how to bring this up. I want to ask Pele a question because I want to ask if she's going. Okay. Lemuria has been a focus for me. I have received messages about Lemuria and stuff. And I want to know if Pele in the future, either today or in a future video or anything, is going to get more in. Is it time for that? I want her guidance more into what Lemuria has been described as. You know what I'm talking about? Because she hasn't done that on this channel. So, or like, should I be explaining the bits that I've, anyway, I just want.
We'll see what she says.
Yeah, like, is she gonna tell us about it? Maybe it's a future video,
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it too much and make this video too long and also be telling the story through my own filter.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like
that's why I'm asking
words.
her.
Yeah. But interesting that she said that some people are going to remain behind in this Great Awakening moment and that this is open. Like, it's just so.
Right? Because remember how
the perfection of everything is so incredible. So, yeah. So, with this Great Awakening moment Well, I don't know if she said necessarily the mass awakening, but anyway, I think so. But
Project?
some of them are just going to go back and start on with their lives, but there's a group of people that are going to remain behind because they're going to want to work on creating Lemuria. Yes, we already know you're one. And now we know it's open. So
But it
yeah,
all ties together. See the information layering even on my reactions to different
exactly.
in our past videos, because I talked about how I've always had this, like, I don't really want to come back right away. Like, I kind of want to just go there. And then I found out I could flip back and forth without losing time. So I was like, okay, good. Because there's, my daughters and my grandson, and like I do, but really I'm drawn to staying over there.
Yes.
And I love working on projects, like in my life too, in my work life and that. So right away I was like, when I typed "not me," when she was saying some people are going to want to come back right away, but some want to stay and work on this project.
Okay.
That's cool.
Let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. This is Pele. I'm going to now explain a little bit more about Lemuria. Lemuria is an energy grid. Lemuria is an energy grid that is always placed in the home of the highest level of love energy in the universe. Lemuria now resides on the home where all love energy is stored. This is also why you have a huge connection to Lemuria, Colleen. So that is where Lemuria is now, which also explains why people who incarnate to Earth from this home where all love energy is stored are master manifestors. Lemuria is an energy grid that is like an overlay on the planet of Earth. And this energy grid will anchor the energy of manifestation. And this energy will have many special qualities. So Lemuria is not a place exactly. Lemuria exists on a place. Lemuria is an energy grid around a certain place. This is about to move. Lemuria will be recreated on Earth. This is the Lemuria people were tapping into when they saw and experienced Lemuria. They were tapping into a future event. So Lemuria is an energy grid that will be built around Earth. However, it will have anchor points on Earth. These anchor points will create a magical place where they touch the Earth. This is what people were tapping into when they saw and experienced Lemuria. One of these magical places will be Hawaii. Oh my God, I have to stop. Oh my God, I just got whoosh.
Me
like a
too.
huge whoosh.
So did a bunch of people watching this
And
because,
like
oh my God,
Lemuria, Pele, Hawaii, like, oh my, the dots are all freaking connecting now.
one of the anchor points though, right?
Exactly. That's just
Yeah.
one. But I just like, because that's where people think Lemuria was, right? Like that's it, the Mu, that was all around Hawaii, wasn't it?
Like, I think so. We're back into just like
I
religion.
know.
I don't know. I think so. Like, there are a whole
Yeah.
bunch of stories, and
Yeah, that's true. There
like we
are.
talk about how stories have been changed and made into our own sort of context. But yes, I think so. Lemuria and the whole Lemuria and Atlantis thing. That Lemuria was a place. Yeah, I believe that was supposed to be near Hawaii.
But I just thought, because I think there's another thought that it's somewhere else, like I don't know, like over by Japan or something like that.
Yeah, but
But
it's
that could be another anchor point, like,
exactly.
you
And
know, so
the whole, yeah, like, because it's
maybe that idea, if we've received information that it's in different places, then that would explain that it's these different anchor points.
so yeah. So I want to clear. Okay, because like really. Just totally confirmed, this, a bunch of things that have been happening to me on my balcony and on my walks
Yeah.
okay, so I'm going there.
Okay.
Don't usually out myself too much, but anyway. So, okay, so because she's saying, I want to make sure now that because people hear different parts of these videos, obviously, more loudly, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay,
We
so
all-
anyway.
yeah.
Lemuria is an overlay that's going to be over the entirety of Earth.
Yes.
Okay. And Lemuria, this is the information. I can't believe she just, okay. Is this grid. Okay. Okay. I'm doing it. On my balcony, I have a pigeon net. I don't know if you know what a pigeon net is. So it's this net that's on my balcony, right? It's a grid on my balcony to stop the pigeons from coming and like nesting on your balcony. So when I'm sitting on my magic balcony, I am 100% all of the time looking out at the beautiful view through a grid. And so I have had these messages when thinking about Lemuria and getting the information that it wasn't a place, it was a energy grid. I'm looking at this grid. It's like they're illustrating it for me. So it's an energy grid around the Earth. Okay. And it has to do with manifestation. I actually had this visualization of like, okay, you know how a sculptor, I don't know, this is through my filter. I don't sculpt, but you can make the frame out of a mesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a grid, right? And then I don't know what they do, put stuff on to make the sculpture. But anyway, how underneath, so they're they're manifesting something on this energy. So there's this energy grid all around Earth that is Lemuria. Like totally take out the idea that Lemuria is a place like a country or a continent. It's this grid. We're going to somehow use it for manifestation. That information is going to come probably when we have our great awakening. But there are anchor points on the Earth, and I got this. Okay, there are anchor points on the Earth, and Cindy and I are just talking about how because she said, Pele said one of these anchor points is Hawaii. So picture the grid, like my balcony net has anchor points, right?
Yes.
Into the concrete roof and floor of the balcony. So, so there are anchor points bringing this grid. How am I doing? I'm not the teacher. You are. Bringing this grid and anchoring it to the Earth. Now, she says Hawaii is one we just figured out that probably probably any places that people have thought the continent of Lemuria was at is probably another anchor point. I'm getting excited. I need a drink. But on my walks, and I just sent you a video about this from one of my walks, Cindy, because it really hit home. I was guided. Okay, so we're working under the assumption that I'm going to be on this project. Okay? That is, and we know this. I know this. I've been told this. I was guided. I didn't know what I was doing. It was on my vacation last summer because I did lots and lots of walking, right? And I started. Okay, so I looked up and I saw like a tower. It was a cell phone tower, you know, with the lights flashing on it. And for some reason, like, so the tower had wires anchoring it, right? And that, I don't even know if I ever told you that, Cindy. I really noticed the wires anchoring it and how it was sending a signal, like, and receiving signals. And I was moved as I'm walking to imaginary drive these stakes into the ground while I was walking. Like, this is weird, I know. So I'm so I'm actually a little bit doing it energetically in my imagination and a little bit like there's nobody around. Okay, I'm actually doing this, putting these stakes, these, I don't know what, anchors into the ground. And then on another walk, I was told to just turn them all on. Like, you know, so I don't know what I was doing, but I did it. And I mostly did it where I sent you the video from today, Cindy, where I walk. There's lots and lots of rocks. Like, it's kind of in a rock cut, you know, it's a piece of nature with a big, I used to call it a mountain when I was growing up, but now I've been to the mountains, so it's a rock.
Yes.
But it's big and high. And what I had sent to Cindy was I just thought about it like, wow, like if there's energy for manifestation in stones, there's gotta be in these rocks. Yeah. And that's where I drove the stakes. Like, it just all goes together, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
I don't know if anybody else been driving stakes into the ground around the earth, but like, we're working on a project together, I think. So get it? Like, anyway, the point is maybe an anchor point is around where I live as well. And that's where I'm. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Thanks for
helping
me with telling all that. Oh my God.
She said this message was going to be joyful and
what
fun.
Did she say at the beginning? I wrote it down because it was, we like sometimes Cindy sees to the, if there's a message from her guides or from Pele or whatever before we come in to record, you know, and because we never know what this message is going to be about. This is a total surprise, as you might see. And so all she said, some days she gives us a little message, right? Or Cindy's angels do. All she said today before we started recording was, this is Pele. Ladies, we're going to have fun today. And holy boy, Pele, am I having fun. We both are, but we're like, oh my God. I'll be watching this video a few times.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah, go. Stop talking, Colleen.
Oh my goodness. This is Pele. I have a little bit more to share, and then I will leave you to process this information. So, Lemuria will have a few anchor points on Earth. There will be 13 anchor points on Earth. I will reveal a few of these points now. Holy smokes. There will be one very close to where you and Colleen live. There will be one in a country that is now a holy place that is at war. Holy rush. Oh my goodness. Whew, a wave of heat. There will be one in a tiny country in the Pacific Ocean that is split into two. That's got to be New Zealand. Yes, it is New Zealand. There will be one in the middle of the North and South Pole. That is all I will reveal for now. So these anchor points will become magical places, even more so than they are now. The energy of Lemuria will cover the earth, and everyone will have access to this magical energy. However, these anchor points will be special. They will become places that have a special role in the future. These anchor points will not be in any danger. The only people who will ever be aware of these anchor points are those that are love-filled. Others will have a hint of an energy difference, but not enough to cause any danger to these places. These places will always be held in honor and reverence. These places are protected by love energy. There is no greater protector than love energy. Okay, and with that, she's done. Hang on, I'm just gonna see if she has anything else. She says no. Wow.
So after I sent that video to you, you said, I think there's way more to the area, like we're talking greater area, but anyway, where we live than we know. As if she just, okay. I was like huge rushing too. I don't unmute because sometimes, like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really excited and it might be a really excited voice coming through. And when Cindy's channeling, I mute, right? That's why you see me mouthing words. But yeah, like I was totally rushing too. Like when she was talking about the anchor points and I think you got hot during the revealing the places.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So anyway, revealing those places. And I love that she said that, like, so the picture I got when she said like they'll be protected and they're only the people who are of love energy will be aware of it. Reminded me of like something from superhero movies, like the villain comes and tries to take the energy place to use the energy to manifest for,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Evil
Yep.
purpose. She's saying like, just don't, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's protected.
Exactly. Yeah. And New Zealand, I mean, that's so cool because I'm
Right?
in New Zealand, right? My dad's from Scotland. His brother and sister went to New Zealand. He came to Canada. So I have cousins in New Zealand
Well,
and
and a connection, and you've been there.
yeah.
Like you have a real connection to it.
Yeah. And my daughter and her husband lived there for a year. He took teachers college over there. So I was supposed to go visit, but that was during 2020, so I didn't get to. But yeah, just so exciting.
Yeah, so my geography is terrible. So I was really glad that you said that's got to be New Zealand, because I didn't know I was going to have to like get out the map to find the country in the Pacific Ocean that's
and the Holy Land.
That's at war. Okay, so I also got a understanding
That's
there.
when I rushed, I think.
That part of, yes, we both did. It came through us both.
Yeah.
When it comes through us at the same time, for me, that's even more of a confirmation, like when it, and then I was thinking like, about fear-filled or whatever you want to call what's going on there for some people, horrific experiences, being clearing karma, and clearing karma being making space in your body for more love energy to come in. I'm being really brief. It's explained in other videos. Okay, that whole idea though, that might be what's going on there, right? Because you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what
you're saying. To bring up the
when you release the fear, energy, there's more room for love energy.
Want to explain karma briefly? The true meaning, because karma was mentioned earlier as well. So just
she talked about that we're no longer walking in karma. Yeah, and she sort of alluded to it there, that karma is just the experiences that we sign up to experience. But she gave an extra layer there because she said they're desires of growth. That was interesting.
Yeah. Well, what she said was that we will start to see karma for what it really is. And so I wanted you to explain, what it really is. It's about not punishment.
Yeah, there is no punishment. But that we can create that in our earth experience if we believe that. If we hold that as a belief, we can sort of create that for ourselves. But on the other side, that's not what karma is. When my angels talk about karma, it's only the experiences that we signed up for. However, they've now made a distinction. Pele's made this distinction because we can still make plans, but these are plans of the heart, not desires of growth. That karma is desires of growth. And the plans made from desires of growth. Once we have our great awakening moment, we're no longer walking in karma. And so any plans we make from then on are desires of the heart, and it's not the same as karma.
Yeah, because you're not probably going to be planning things that aren't fun to go through. Exactly. I doubt it. Anyway, I won't.
No, because we're done. That was the whole point. We've worked hard, man. This has been a long time.
The reason I bring that up too is also because so that she brought that up, talking about after our great awakening, how we're going to see things differently, and you'll see karma for what it is, also like in maybe something that someone else is going through or is doing, and you will see it differently, right? Because you'll see it as
you'll understand
it is as part of their plan for their journey, as opposed to
for their growth.
The other reason is that then as we get into all this like manifestation and anchor points and oh my goodness, and the project and the great awakening, and people ask in the comments, like, how do I get to have my great awakening in that? And just being like super duper brief, right? Like really brief, because I'm probably going to wrap up this video in a second.
Yes.
It's explained in some other videos, and but like, okay, interrupt me if I get off on this. Okay, so the way to get to your great awakening is a couple of things, is to clear all of your karma, like to experience all of the things that are on your list of things you came here to experience. And then also, when you clear karma, it releases spaces. Cindy's angels have talked about this actually on her other channel. It makes space in you, in your energy, and more love energy flows into those spaces, like water filling a hole that you dug some mud out of, right? Or whatever, dug some dirt out of, water could flow in there. So then when there's more love energy, I've always talked about vibration. So you're raising your vibration or your love energy level, and that like brings you closer to your great awakening, right? Because you're not going to have your great awakening until you've gone through all the experiences that you came here to experience. So if you want to get involved in the project, I'm joking, but if you want to get to your mass awakening, like there's a whole bunch of things to do towards that have to do with raising your love energy level or your vibration or your amount of light in you, which is all the same thing.
Yes. And so you just feel the feelings. A lot of us are clearing karma from earlier in our lives, emotions and things that we couldn't experience fully because of our age and what was going on in our lives, and from past lives. So right now, a lot of people are experiencing anger out of nowhere and like rage. Like I experienced that. I've talked about that before too. You know, the pandemic brought up some trauma that I experienced, and there was a lot of rage attached to that. So I had to deal with that. So you find healthy ways of releasing that, you know, and things that you can do. So it could be rage, it could be sadness, it could be fear, it could be all different kinds of things that come up for you. And so ways that you can help to ease that process is time in nature, drinking your water, and still your water with love energy and drink it. Consciously trying to run love energy into your body, seeking out joy in your life, doing things that bring you joy, focusing on joy, you know, turn off the news, sort of put yourself in a bubble and bring in as much love and joy as you can. So, and that will just sort of help ease this process and even make it happen a bit faster. Sitting with your back against a tree. So at the beginning of my Lady of the Forest channel,
Yes.
a year ago, they were giving lots of messages about our connection with trees and things like this, drinking water and stuff like that. It was like, now they're focusing a lot on this great awakening. But back then it was really good information about things like that. Sitting with your back or standing with your back against a tree, trees can help us to clear karma. Trees are love energy. They are and now we know from all these that they're made up of this magical energy of awe. And so, yeah, just sitting with your tree, with your back against a tree and asking it for help, it can help to clear things. And I've had people tell me that they've experienced clearings doing that. So it's very powerful. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to a forest. Like you can literally rub up against a tree in the middle of the city somewhere, you know.
And if you don't, you could, like, you bought me the bonsai. I mean,
Yes.
I live where there's a ton of nature. I can get to nature. Yeah. I can put my back against 150 trees if I want. Yeah. But not everybody lives in areas like that or can get to them, or even with maybe stuff that's going on where you're from, maybe you can't get out and go find some nature to get, you know, whatever, all that.
Not mobile, for sure.
Yeah. So so even to go out and find a tree in a park, like you've done your videos from Toronto, and this, you know, it's not like forest in Toronto, but you've found trees and little bits of forest to do videos in. But some people can't even do that.
Yeah.
So you can, like, it doesn't have to be a tree. Like,
it doesn't. No, I'm just saying
it's one of the ways, though, and I have felt it. And but also there was a video on your channel, like you have to go way down. Cindy's done a lot of videos about in the magic of trees or something. Anyway, it was after you made that video that you bought me the bonsai as a gift.
Yeah.
So to have even a little tree in your home, right? Yeah. Then that gives you, like, so my bonsai's name is Genevieve, and I talked to Genevieve and we exchanged love.
Yeah.
And so there's all kinds of ways to do this. It's whatever you find. The whole point, there's an expression from actually Abraham Hicks. Nothing is more important than I feel good. And that's not how we were raised, right? Society says that's selfish, but what you're doing is always trying to raise your vibration. And so that's by finding things and thoughts that make you feel good. Now, that doesn't mean, you were talking about different kinds of karma, Cindy. We know that part of what I have in the way of karma to clear is grief karma. And so that means that there have been times when I've gone through a grief experience that I've maybe felt it to a larger proportion than maybe you would expect. And so I used to stuff that. I found all different ways of stuffing that, right? And not, you know, processing it. But now when that comes up, the grief, and it can be over a death or something, but there's all kinds of ways to experience grief. And I let it come up, telling myself, it's okay. Like, this isn't really all happening now. You're letting some energy up.
Yeah.
and sit in the feeling of it. It's different than wallowing poor me in it. It's just sitting in the feeling and feeling it. Like grief for me is here and then it comes up like into my throat, you know, and I just feel it on my balcony. That's where I go when I'm trying to do something like that. And then I breathe through it and feel it for as long as I'm comfortable with, right? Like I don't have to clear it all today. And then I actually, then when I've breathed through it and it subsides a little bit, I actually ask for or I drink, you talk in your videos about infusing water with love, and I drink some to bring that love energy into that space like that I just like chipped a little bit of karma out of. I hope this is helping folks. It's because everybody's asking if they're in the mass awakening, if they're in the first wave, how do I get in, you know? And like basically outlining how to maybe get your ticket.
Well, and Pele's conception is going to help a lot of people because that's
Right?
going to give us a boost and kick us over the edge, those people that are close.
Yes.
And
And the
have your
alien
whoosh moment. And
yes, and the alien, the scary, I'm paraphrasing, it's not the words, it's in one of our videos recently, the negative alien experience.
fear
The
field.
whole point is that it's going to clear a bunch of fear karma for people. So when it happens, remember what we're going to do. We said in that video, we're going to hold the vision and send love energy out to everybody to try and lessen the fear experience, but you're going to experience fear and know that it's, or you probably are, if you have some fear karma to clear, just clear it. You don't have to get all panicked and, you know what I mean? Like, and wrapped up in it. Like you're clearing this fear karma.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, so there's that experience. And then the conception of Pele brings in all the energy in my mind to fill the spaces.
Yeah.
It's a lovely journey, folks. The path has been laid out for us. Like this isn't, we're not
They've built a hall.
right? And we're not making this up as we go along, really, even though as individuals we may be, but you know what I'm saying? It was all laid out for us. This is the experiment. This is the experiment. This is a hole for the end of the experiment. I love it.
This was awesome. And so she said next time she's going to talk about how we're going to experience Earth after we have our Great Awakening. So,
right?
That one.
So, do you have any other
Nope.
questions or anything left to add?
Nope, that's good.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, folks. If you're enjoying these videos and you're like, for all the people who are new, if you hit subscribe, we try to post every week. Like, trust me, we want to record once a week. We have lives, so we can't record like every day, or I would. Jobs and families and all that, but we try and record once a week. And so, but it's not always exactly once a week. So if you subscribe, you'll get, you know, your YouTube will show you when we have posted another video if you'd like to continue following along the story.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for joining us. Please continue. We read all the comments. Continue letting us know how you're feeling about all of this and your experiences. I just love reading all the engagement in the comments. Yeah. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.
Have a good day. Bye.